All right, welcome to Steps Gaming. It's Kristen Steps here. This is just going to be a very casual stream. Brooklyn didn't run a stream tonight, so I thought maybe I would just go ahead and stream something. This is kind of get my feet wet a little bit. It's a trial. It's unannounced. Maybe nobody will watch. I don't know, but I am here to get some practice, just talking about arcades and talking about things that have happened, stuff like that. And hopefully I'll develop the idea and come out with a better show name, and stuff like that as we go through things here. So the thing I want, hey, Rachel Dello. It's good to see you. Yeah, like I said, this is a dry run of practice. I wanted to see how I could do just if I did a talk show, because normally I'm doing gameplay or fighting game streams or things like that. So I wanted to talk about the at games thing yesterday, because that took me by surprise. I got back from Michigan. I look at my phone. I'm like, holy crap. And I know, yes, Iron Maiden is the bomb. Let me share my screen here, because I am gonna bring up this window, share. Yeah, this was the announcement here by At Games. Wow, it's got some audio there. So I was just taken back. I was not expecting this at all. Like, At Games is just, they're not known to get big, huge titles like this. And so they, out of the blue, got Killer Instinct, Battletoads, and then, RC Pro Am, all these great games. And so the question to me is, now that they've had this, right? What's next? It's like, you get one. Are you gonna get more? Like, this could be like a gateway drug. At Games could end up getting more titles just based off having one. Now that they have a big one, other companies may also be interested. Oh, Bobby, man, you're gonna be gone for 3 weeks? That's terrible. Well, it's good for you, though. It's terrible for us, because we love to die for. He's always coming out with these awesome Bobby Sarah mods and all this great stuff for the community. We'll miss you, man. I hope you have a wonderful vacation. Biggie D is in the chat. I love Biggie D. I love watching the show Sunday nights at 10:15 Eastern, I believe it is. It's a good show. He talks about what he feels about what's going on at home arcade. I'm sure he's going to talk about this one, a vacation. That's great. I gotta show that one. He's gonna have a vacation. He's gonna be gone for 3 weeks. Biggie D, what's up? Yeah, yes, can't wait. And I do need it. I know you're going away. You're going to a couple different countries. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure what War's talking about, but War, it's good to see you here. I know there's a lot of drama. We're not here to talk about drama. We're here to talk about arcades. And Bobby Voo's clean like a mother. Yeah, to die for. Yeah, so like I was saying, this is kind of, Thor's got a vacation too. Why don't we just call this the vacation stream? I just wanted to get my feet wet just talking about arcades. And so I just kind of put this up spur of the moment to see how it goes. Ichabod Crane is in here. Sup. It's good to see you, Ichabod. Do you have any new shows yet? Have you had something come out? Yes, I agree, man. I'm trying to just, focus on games. Like I said, I went to Michigan, went to a couple arcades, but I'll get to that again. I know maybe some of you saw my video, but I think I did a video a couple weeks back where I said that I've kind of ignored At Games, and I'm starting to think that was a gigantic mistake, because I loved my iiRcade because it's a great multi-cade, but now I don't know if I'm going to be getting any new titles or not. It sounds like I might be getting some if they're willing to work with Mystery Encoder's new plan, which I am excited about. And I'm going to be doing the mod that Mystery Encoder is releasing to my iiRcade. But I really think I need something else, something that's exciting, something that's going to give me some new release titles and some excitement. And so Ad games is really starting to perk my interest here. And I'm looking at their sales, but what the main thing was, even before the Killer Instinct was announced, the Battletoads was announced, I was already looking at them. I do have a KI PCB that's in one of my cabinets right now, and I've been modding that cab over. And that got me thinking, what is happening to Arcade 1-Up and KI? Did they lose the license? Does AtGames have the exclusive license, or do they share the license? Like, that's a curiosity to me. Now, I don't think Arcade 1-Up can make any more money off of the AtGames products, or not the AtGames products, I'm sorry, the Killer Instinct or the Battletoads, but it's interesting because they just came out with that Pro like 6 months ago, so I'm wondering if their licensing has expired and maybe AtGames picked it up, or if they still have the license, they're just not making any more cabs, and AtGames also now has it. Or maybe they just lost an exclusivity license. But AtGames coming in and grabbing that is monumental for them because, like I said, it's going to start opening the door for more of these publishers to be interested in what AtGames is doing. And now that we have less multi-cade options in to choose from, there's less competition. I'm really happy to see this. This is really great. AtGames license is based on a digital distribution license. Okay, that's cool. So I guess since Arcade 1-Up does not digitally distribute it, they just do it through a PCB that you have to buy the whole cabinet, that they both can do it. You're playing light guns on the AtGames. Is that with your Wii, though? You said you hooked your Wii up to the AtGames Legends, and that's how you're playing it? Because I think that's pretty dope, too, because you could probably get a Wii. Are they still pretty cheap? I think they're pretty cheap. And, yeah, $299, that's a great price. Most versatile cab. Yeah, I think the iiRcade mods are going to make it pretty versatile, too. That'll be great. But them even having a digital license, however you want to put it, see, here we go. Biggie D. What if AtGames got Konami? See, I think Konami is a realistic get because Konami doesn't really make new games anymore. They license a lot of their old titles, especially stuff like Castlevania, Contra, Ninja Turtles. They're trying to relicense stuff they've already created. And if there is a way for AtGames to kick Konami, even though Arcade 1-Up has it and it be on their product, that would be great. I don't even need Ninja Turtles. I'd be happy with what are you saying, War? I don't know if you're trying to insult me or what. Sunset Riders would be really cool. You got Bucky O'Hare. I mean, Cowboys of Mesa might be hard because you got to pick up that license as well. Ichabod is filming a new Ichabod show tomorrow with PQ and some fun stuff planned. That's awesome. Waiting for that one. If you haven't checked out Ichabod Crane's channel, please do. He does arcade stuff there, and he has a partner PQ he does a lot of videos with, as well as he does some by himself. Rich Odello says his Steam Deck to his ALU with Sinden Light Gun build. Yeah, that's a pretty good, easy solution as well. I need a lot of stuff. I'm way behind. I need to add games. I need a Steam Deck. I even need a Wii. I have a Xbox Series S I just took with me to Michigan. It's so nice and portable. I'd be thinking it'd be really cool if I could use Pinball FX from my Xbox Series S on AtGames Pinball. That would be really, really dope. Simpsons Online, X-Men. See, that takes double licensing. So it'd be cool if they could do that, but they would also have to sign with Marvel and then have to sign with Disney in general, because Simpsons and X-Men are both Disney properties. So that'd be challenging. But, if they could bring me, Rondo of Blood, if they could bring me Castlevania versus Castlevania from the arcade, stuff that's even just Konami based, Gradius would be cool. The new show name should be Steps and Stuff. This sounds like a Care Bear, doesn't it? So I've noticed 4 to 3 people here, but I knew it was about to happen today. It's nice lying about people. How? What are you, dude? I'm not. No drama, dude. What are you talking about, man? We're here to talk about arcades war. That's what we're here to talk about. We're talking about this at game sale, this at games, Killer Instinct, Battletoads, RC Pro Am, all these NES games. I'm even willing to play the NES games. I'll be honest. That sounds pretty cool. Let's see. Rich Odell's laughing. So I was looking at the sale because I, again, don't know the most about at games. I'm just getting into it. And like everything's on sale. You know, they got their pinball tables. Are they only available in packs, or could I buy an individual table, or can I buy separate packs? Like $70. You know, it's a lot more than an iiRcade game, but it looks like, for example, if I get these are based off real pinball tables, I believe, Gottlieb. And they got what? 4 packs for $70, 30% off. It looks like you're getting, I don't know, you're getting like what, 20 some tables with that for $70? That's not bad, I guess. My light's in the way of my arrow, my back arrow. Separate packs, so you can't buy separate packs. That's cool. They're just not on sale that way, I'm guessing. This is the one that I probably a must buy. Space Invaders, although I don't think it's based off the original Space Invaders pinball. But $55, 27% off. I wonder where they come out with these arbitrary amounts. This one's 26.7% off. This one's 30% off. It's because it has more packs. It's based on how many packs you get. 3 packs, you get 26.7%. 4 packs, you get 30%. I'm guessing. Dr. Seuss is down to $35. So I think if I was starting out, that Taito pack would be pretty cool. I don't know. What's your favorite packs? NOD, a year ago, I got all the packs for like $100. You own every table. That's awesome. I wish I could get that kind of deal now. You're kind of torn between the ALP and the ALP Mini, but the Mini isn't much cheaper than the current price at Walmart. Yeah. I think the Mini, here's the Mini. All right. The Mini's on sale for $339. I like the idea of a Mini because I don't have a lot of space. So to me, like, I'm really in the market for something small that could give me the power of the the regular pinball table. So I think it's rather ideal for me personally, because I'd like to get an ALU, and then to have a nice little pinball table would be really cool. But see, they have little kids playing it, which kind of turns me off. I'm like, oh, it's the little kids edition, you know? Like I don't need the Happy Meal. I need the Grimace birthday meal. Not that I could eat gluten anyway, but just for an example. The Mini, this looks like a family here sharing with the, having a good time with the Mini. $329. That's not bad. That's a pretty good price for an arcade cabinet. I mean, obviously it's only one player. It's the only downside, but a little bit more was about $130 more. Legends Ultimate, normally $600, so you get $140 off. It's 23%. It's interesting how they come up with these numbers. And then you can get $20 off if you extend your warranty, which might be a good idea. From what I hear, a lot of people have a bad screen or a bad this. Maybe you'll actually get taken care of if you have the plan. At least with the Mini, you get to play the games. All right, yeah, you do. Goofy Foot has a Mini. The Mini pinball Goofy Foot. If you don't have the space, get the Gamer Pro, and it hooks up to your TV, and grab a Core Max. So, okay, let me ask you this then: if I buy this, the Gamer Pro, it's $139.99. It comes with the puck. It looks like it comes with everything you need, right? So $139 gets me all in or not? Because you're saying to buy the Gamer Core Plus, or what'd you say, the Gamer Max? Where was it? The Core Max. There's the Core Max, right? So the Core Max is just the puck. Now, my question then is, does the puck, do you have to buy the puck separate, or does it come? It's supposed to come with this Gamer Pro, isn't it? Doesn't it come with that? It's shown in the pictures. So you have a Gamer Mini. The Gamer Pro includes the pinball buttons. Yeah, the Mini doesn't. I saw that. You can get the Mini for like $88 and like Amazon, but yeah, there's no pinball. You can't play pinball, and you don't get the wheel or the spinners, right? The trackball or the spinners. Yeah, 468 bad for an ALU. It's not bad. You're right. So I'm thinking, is this all in or not? The Gamer Pro. It looks like it's all in. You get everything you need. 150 licensed arcade games with it. Bad Dudes, Dragon Ninja, Bubble Bobble, Burger Time, Space Invaders, Super Star Wars, Tetris, and much more. And then you could pay for ArcadeNet, which I think is $20 a month, from what I understand. So I like that price. That's the good price. That's the price you want to get it at for sure, for sure. But sales are pretty good. I know a lot of people said they were disappointed for some reason or another, but like I know that they've had sales similar in the past, but to me they're looking nice. Now I wonder what they're going to charge for the rare games, you know, or if they're going to have a rare themed ALU, probably a Killer Instinct theme ALU. I'm going to assume the new games will all be on AtGames platforms, so they get what you have space for and money you can afford. Yeah. So it's interesting because I think with the way things are going in the home arcade market, it was funny. Even like a couple months ago, I said AtGames is going to be the one that's still standing here, and it looks like they are. And they're, I mean, it's weird because like, you know, iiRcade's like we're out. And then we're getting a lot less from Arcade 1-Up, and then bam, we get rare with AtGames. So if they were able to get something like Konami, I mean, damn, that would change a lot of momentum. You got the Mini for $52, and you 100% plan to get the Gamer Pro as soon as I see it $99. It's close. Was it $139? So you got $40 extra. I think I definitely want the Gamer Pro. I just want to make sure, like, you can find it for $99, Gamer Pro. Be patient. Okay, maybe I'll be patient. But why would I want the Core Max versus the Gamer Pro? Like a Core Max, is it faster, better, or something? Like, it looks like it's the same thing, but it doesn't have an arcade stick with it. I'm assuming you just plug a controller into it. It's nice. Where was it? It looks like a Roku. Sega is possible. Yeah, it is possible because they had it on iiRcade. But see, if they get Sega games, I'd really like to see something like whatchamacallit, Death Adder. I'd really like to see Death Adder, or, you know, if you can get guns working, of course you want to see like Virtua Cop and stuff like that. Virtua Fighter. I love Virtua Fighter. I've been playing that. I played that in the arcade the last couple days, and it's so underrated. It's such a good game. And that's something that A1-Up hasn't done yet. Average price for a Pro is $50 to $80. Where I need that. Does it come with everything I need to die for? I definitely need one of those. Even if I get an ALU, I definitely need AtGames Gamer Pro, because that's basically what's going to hook into your Elgato, right? You Core Max, You can use a Gamer Pro. It's a better chipset. Oh, I see. So it'll be a little bit faster, but not quite as good as the new chipset that's coming on the 4K, right? The 4K support might support light guns. We'll have to see. It might support light guns. We'll have to see. Okay. Well, you know, there's no release date or pre-order on it yet. I'm thinking they're saving this for the Cleveland Gaming Expo, which I need to go to because it's only like about 5 hours away from me. So I could drive to it. It would be cool just to see the At Games booth, I'm sure. As well as see all these great, you know, YouTubers that I've met before when we were in Chicago, all the great, you know, people that are in home arcade. You know, when I went to Chicago, it was weird because I ran into a lot of people that I didn't know. I didn't know them at the time, and they knew who I was. And my channel was even smaller then. Not that it's big now; it's still small, but it was really cool to meet people there for sure. For sure, 4K is definitely the best. I'm hearing the 4K is going to be $1,500, and that's a little price prohibitive for me. If you give me something at $800, I might be able to swing it, but I'd still have to work, you know, work and save up for it. Definitely for sure. Michael B confirmed At Games will have a 4K ALU and ALP on display there, confirmed. Yes, I believe that. I have no doubt. They just said they were going to have Killer Instinct there and all that stuff and start taking pre-orders after that. So are you going to Cleveland Gaming Expo still, Biggie D? Who's all going? I definitely am thinking I'm going to be going. Let's see. I was looking at Glenn's control panel too, but we still haven't finished with At Games, I guess. The At Games ecosystem could be played on all their stuff. Yes. So any game, from what I saw, they announced that the Killer Instinct and the Battletoads and all the rare games were going to play on the HD line as well as the 4K line, which was an amazing announcement too. You'll be in Cleveland, already have the hotel and flight booked, paid for the flight. Awesome. Awesome. I need to find probably whatchamacallit. What are those where you rent a house and see if I can get a bunch of people to stay, or I need to find a cheap hotel. Not a dirty hotel, but a cheap hotel. And I'll probably just drive to Cleveland. I'll have to make sure I get that weekend off work in September. It'll come faster than you know it, you know. Let's see. So I wanted to touch base on Glenn's deck. I know he hit over 500 this week, which is really exciting. It looks like it's still for pre-order. So he hasn't stopped the pre-orders yet. I think that's a good idea. We found out that there's between 6,500 and 7,000 iiRcades in existence, not just from Mystery Encoder, but I also heard a game developer also confirm it in his video talking about how he made $7,000 making iiRcade games in about 7 days, he said. So, but he said there was about, you know, just under 7,000 iiRcades in the wild. So the question is, how many of those 7,000 or less than 7,000 want to buy Glenn's deck? And right now we're over $500. Or 500 sales. So that's a pretty good number, a pretty good percentage out of those. I'm thinking he's going to sell between 1,000 and 2,000 of these. That's my guess. I'm just, you know, it could be less or more, but I really think that that's probably the magic number. And so my question is, he said he was only going to make like 10% or 20% over the amount that were pre-ordered. So I wonder how long he's going to leave this open. It might just be about 1,000 of these, but you know, some of these people probably forgot they even had the iiRcade, even, you know, 6,500 in the wild. How many people are actively playing them? Thor KC says, sight unseen, I'm probably passing on the ALP 4K. I will just look for the deal on the HD. But if the ALU 4K includes a bit LCD, yeah, that's a tough one too, because I think the bit LCD is about $300 from what I remember. I don't know why I need to play retro games in 4K. Maybe I'll change my mind in Cleveland. I'm looking forward to seeing it in Cleveland because I've played the At Games before. I don't own one. I played the At Games Legends Ultimate. I played it in a break room at somebody's work, and it's obviously got the biggest screen. It is a widescreen, and it's got some nice speakers, some decent controls. So it's pretty nice cabinet. Pretty big though. It's definitely bigger than the 1-Ups or the MVSX or whatnot. I'm sure the 4K is probably gonna be about the same size, but it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to spend $1,500 for a 4K when most of those games don't need 4K. So sell me on it At Games. Sell me on it. Let's see it, or you guys sell me on it. I don't know. Might just be upgrade board on my ALU and play it on the 1080 screen it comes with. Yeah, how much were they charging out for the board? Did they announce a price for that? Wants the new UI and best experience, but I don't want to buy entire new arcade. Yeah, that sounds pretty smart. Pretty smart. How often do you play the pinball on your ALU, or do you all have separate pinball machines? I mean, that's a good question to know too. I enjoy playing pinball on my Xbox Series S. I do play the what is it? That Pinball FX. That's what it's called. I play Pinball FX on my Xbox Series S. I like to play the Williams table specifically. I really love Addams Family and the Indiana Jones table. Those I get caught playing a good amount. So the board upgrade is $350. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's probably worth it if you already have it, And I don't know, $350. A lot of money, but hey, if that's the main arcade you're playing, why not? Why not spend the $350, get the faster performance? The 4K isn't important in these games. If they start doing modern retro games, maybe the 4K would be a little bit more important. I really think they should. I really think they should dip their toes into companies like, was it Orange Pixel Games, when he just did that video where he talked about how he made $7,000 in 7 days on doing iiRcade games. I was shocked. I was shocked by that. I thought that was pretty surprising. He made that much for 7 days worth of work. I would do 7 days worth of work for $7,000. Totally be worth it. Anyway, it's weird because there's nothing going on as far as the arcade 1-Up right now. They're really quiet. I'm wondering what exactly they're planning next. I really was hoping for Robotron and Smash TV. It hasn't happened yet. It sounds like it might be on the horizon. We got Wheel of Fortune Casino-cades. We don't know what happened to the other Casino-cades. Remember the ones they showed us where it was like Let's Make a Deal and Price is Right and Elvis and all these other games? We saw those and they just dumped them. They're like, oh, we just have the Wheel of Fortune iiRcade 2.0. And the mini ones went away. And I actually think the mini slot machines would sell better. I think they would sell like hotcakes on QVC to all these people that are older that watch the Home Shopping Network and QVC. I think those would sell really well to people, especially around Christmas time. They will buy your old board for $60. Okay, so you send it to them and they'll give me a $60 credit? Or what would they do with the old board? That's interesting. Big Buck Pro is next. I also heard Ninja Turtles XL. We'll see. I think Big Buck would have been better than a Pro to begin with. You don't want to play a shooting game with a 17-inch screen. Time Crisis. I thought that was canceled. Time Crisis. That I didn't like the way it looked like a Big Blue. I think nobody did. I think they went back to the drawing board or they just canceled it. One of the two. We'll see. But it'll have Time Crisis 1, 2, and 3. I believe it. If they already had the licensing, they're not going to drop it. Maybe they redesigned it because the people complained so much. It'll be interesting to see how it does. It's hard for me to spend $600 on one, to be honest. That's a lot of money. If it's a multi-cade for that price, it has a lot more value to me. I don't have that much space. I really like multi-cades. I'm really sad about the iiRcade because, you know, whether the game was good or bad, it would give you content either way. They'll probably put Shredder on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cab 1-up. Will it run? That's the question. Or will it run online? That's the other question. It sounds like it's going to be possibly on Mystery Encoder's, or the ability to download it. It's going to be on Mystery Encoder's new OS or hacked OS or whatever you want to call it that's coming out for the iiRcade. He said that he wants to put the free Android version on it. That would be really awesome if we could do that, because that definitely would play very well as an arcade title. $5.99. I'm gonna bring this back up. And $5.99 is a hard pill to swallow for most things, especially when you're only getting a couple games, and the quality is questionable. Yeah, it runs on Android on phones. Definitely doable. Yes, that would be awesome. That would be great. Really give me a lot. It sounds like I'm getting a lot of value out of this iiRcade in the future. The only thing I'm really sad about with the iiRcade being closed officially is the fact that we're not going to get these modern retro titles, because some of those were really good. Some of them weren't very good at all, but it was great to have, because when you got a really good one, oh, it was a blast. It definitely was a blast. And we're still playing some of those games that even just came out that weren't even supposed to be released, like Circus Interstellar, which was an amazing, amazing game. And it's a shame that didn't come out, because it's a good game. Bad games equal great streaming content. Well, look, there's people that have made a career out of that. Look at the Angry Video Game Nerd. I mean, heck, man, that dude's made some money off bad games. Gorf on the Tron cabinet was the best news for me. Gorf. I don't even know what Gorf is. Now I'm going to have to look at Google and Google what Gorf is. I think it's an arcade game. I think I might have seen the cabinet before, but I didn't play it. That's for sure. I mean, I'm not familiar with it much at all. Man. So I don't know. You know, for me, what I'm looking forward to most right now, there's two things I'm really looking forward to. One of them is looking to see what ALU or At Games has, especially come fall, and getting my hands on some At Games products so I can actually enjoy them and share what I think and that kind of thing. And the other thing is going to be, I really am excited about a Robotron cabinet, and I have no idea why. Like, I'm pretty sure that if they announce it, I want to buy it now. And that was never really my game. And I'm walked to all these arcades, or I go to these arcades in Michigan. And the first one I went to, which was in the basement of this coin store, they didn't allow any photos. They were like, shh, be quiet. Don't tell anybody, you know? And so I go down to this Speakeasy arcade, and they got like 20 machines. One of them's a Robotron that's gutted, so there's no screen, no controls, but it's the cabinet. And I'm like, okay, no Robotron. And the second arcade I went to, they sold like Robotron t-shirts, but they didn't have a Robotron to go with it. Oh, which was really a shame. You're fighting to stay awake? Okay. I'm sorry I'm that boring, Carlo. Go ahead and go to sleep. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to be streaming much longer. This is just a trial run. I wanted to talk about some arcade things, see how it goes. I didn't have too much planned. I just brought up a couple things. It's good to see you out. Biggie D's, shout outs, Carl. Oh, I'm done. My retro card is done. Yeah, man, what am I going to do without my Blockbuster card? I'm not going to be able to run any more videos, man. I'm going to have to do some research on Gorf. What year was Gorf? I'm a lot more of a 90s arcade person than I ever was in 80s, but I'm really starting to enjoy more 80s games lately. Hence the whole I'm searching to play Robotron. I'm searching to play stuff like Defender and stuff like that. I didn't play Space Invaders until it was on the iArcade. That was my first time playing Space Invaders. I absolutely love playing Space Invaders on the iArcade, actually. I was kind of surprised. It's a pretty basic game, but it's really addictive. And the version that Michael did on the iArcade was dope. Goofy, that's cool. I want one. Oh, Glenn's deck. Did you get it? Finally bought it. Awesome. I'm glad that Goofy got Glenn's deck because I think Glenn's deck is looking pretty cool. And when you play games with trackballs, like when you actually go to an arcade and you play games with a trackball, like Blood Brothers, for example, was played on a trackball. We've been playing that on the iArcade on an arcade stick, not the way it was originally intended. So now you can play those games originally as intended, just by a shack. I got a super chat. Wow. $1.99 super chat from Ichabod. Thank you very much. That's the first super chat I've ever received. Ichabod, you have the pleasure of sending me the first super chat because I don't do too many live streams. I've been doing a lot of edited content. And I would love to have a shack. The only problem is I got limited space. I got this room behind me. I could probably sneak in a couple more. I got what I have right now is I have the Retromania cab I got from the iArcade, which I bought after I sold my Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Wasn't a bad cabinet per se. I was very upset with how Marvel Capcom 2 ran. And I wanted to get rid of it while the getting was good. And the timing I got rid of it was good because they released more now. But the person that bought it for me got a pretty fair deal. I think he paid $425, but he got upgraded buttons, and he also got a stool, Marvel superhero stool. So I thought he got a pretty fair deal. I love the Marvel series though, and so if they ever fix it and come out with a better version, I might consider buying it. I do have an X-Men versus Street Fighter PCB still, and I wish I would have turned my Yoga Flame into that, but I've been turning my Yoga Flame into a KI. But I messed up the bezel. I painted the bezel and I messed it up. And I'm going to be taking the KI apart and sending the bezel to Joe Sabo so that he could send me a new bezel and save my butt. That's what's going to happen there. Let's see. Steps. The Space Invader and Galaxian had a baby. You'd have Gorf. Okay. All right. I have played Galaxian. I have played Space Invaders. So there you go. You sold your house going to put an offer on an iArcade at the bankruptcy. So that was another thing I guess I could talk about. Like, usually when a company files bankruptcy, they like sell everything off in increments as part of a bankruptcy sale. iArcade really didn't do that. They're like, all right, we're going to sell cabinets for $299. We're going to wait till they're all gone. And then once they're all gone, the following Friday, we're going to announce we're done. And I knew something was happening the Friday after they sold all the cabinets. I didn't know exactly what it would be. Like, I thought they kept saying they had something in the bag. So I thought they're going to make an announcement. They're trying something else. But, they just said it's done. And so it's really interesting to me that they didn't have a bankruptcy sale. They just put things on sale and waited till they were all sold. And so I don't understand what the motive behind that is, because when you file bankruptcy, you don't get to keep any of the money. Like, the money goes to the trustee, it goes to pay the creditors, that type of thing. So where'd the money go? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they care about getting the max dollar out of every single cabinet? You would just say, we're filing bankruptcy, we're having a sale, here's the cabinets, buy them or don't. And then they would get rid of them all for whatever it took. And then people could buy games until they shut down the store. So I kind of question the way they did that. And maybe I'm wrong to think that, but I kind of question it. It's interesting. It's interesting to me. And, I'll never know the answer to that. I'm just talking about things that I thought in my head that kind of surprised me. Because I remember when Kmart closed, they took like a couple years to or they filed bankruptcy. It took a couple years to close all the Kmarts. It didn't just happen in 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Where are all those gold cabinets from the beer and play? Those are not really fully gold cabinets. I can explain those to you because I actually interviewed Michael about those when I was at iArcade headquarters or Jong's house. What those were demonstration units. The boards in them are not the same boards that were in the gold cabinets. I think they're a hybrid board that was kind of in between the Gen 1 and the gold cabinets. And so they're not full gold cabinets. They're kind of their own thing. And there's probably about 10 of them that were at iiRcade headquarters. Of course, you probably either saw them in their streams or you saw them on my iiRcade Gold video. And I'm not sure. It's very odd. Hear me out on thoughts. What thoughts? What thoughts, Bobby? So it's very odd that those cabinets, they're kind of like their own thing. They look like a gold cabinet. They're not really a gold cabinet. I'm not sure, they work on the store or what. Only Michael would know what they truly are capable of doing. I would assume they work on the store, but it doesn't matter at this point anyway, because the store is gone. Why iiRcade YouTube is still active in Twitter and all social media. Yes, that's interesting too. I think we're just guessing, but normally when you file a bankruptcy, it takes a very long time. It's not something that happens right away, and you wouldn't try to get the most money for the cabinets and then announce your bankruptcy. You would just say we're bankrupt and then try to get what you can. That's how bankruptcy typically works. I'm not an expert. I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer, but from observation and watching other companies file bankruptcy, that's what I have seen. The mattress store going out of business, super sale, and they don't care what you buy it for because the liquidator comes in there and sells it all. And then the trustee takes all the money and you don't get any of it. So it doesn't, you're right. It 100% does not make sense. And that's question as well. I like iiRcade. If it came back, would I want to support it? Sure. But the truth of the matter is, I think it's in better hands now. Like Mystery Encoder, To Die For, and Glenn, sounds pretty promising to me. Now, the only thing I'd like to see that I don't think I'm going to be able to see is a lot of these modern retro titles from these indie developers. That's the only thing. Mattress store's been going out of business for 25 years. I think you're right, man. I think you're right. Yeah, going out of business. And we had this one store called Weekends Only Furniture, and it was like final week, and then like 5 weeks later, it's still final week. The bankruptcy sale. Something is rotten in dead bark. Something is happening. Could you imagine the biggest troll ever? Coke back after Glenn Bree's life. Maybe the bankruptcy that they're filing is different. Maybe they got a bankruptcy. There's chapter 11, chapter 7. I don't know the differences, but maybe they're going through the bankruptcy, but yet they're going to be able to come back and retain some assets. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I wish we had a lawyer in the community that would be able to figure it out, because there's definitely something going on. Jongs definitely was really mad about people getting these games, or really mad about just people getting into his cabinet with Mystery Encoder, and then he kind of took it back a little bit at the end, but it's just weird. You believe it's chapter 13. If it ever come back, I still fully support iiRcade. Mostly, I guess. The problem is we need to have explanations of what's different and why we should continue to purchase things. And you'd have to make good by the developers. I mean, there's a lot of questions that would need answered to see. And is it viable for them? I think right now, honestly, it was a better time for them than if they came out right now, they would be better off than when they came out before. I know COVID probably helped them with some sales, but right now, the community is hungry for something else. They're hungry for something new and different, and other options besides, Arcade 1-Up. People want to experience something different. And if you're a company providing something different, like an @games or an iiRcade, I think you're going to get a lot more customers than you did before, interestingly enough. And I think @games is going to sell a lot with this new 4K. I think they're going to sell a lot because of this Killer Instinct. They're going to sell a lot. They're going to open some eyes, and things are looking promising. Only if someone like Glenn runs it. I agree. I think the iiRcade should be a community cabinet no matter what. No matter what. And I think it has even promises that there's ways to make money off of it, even with the small community project. Because look at what the guy at Orange Pixel Games said. I made $7,000 with 7 days worth of work. Now, is it a primary job? No, he's got to release his games on many platforms, right? But it was money that was there. So if iiRcade didn't have a lot of debt and it was somebody's side project, could it succeed? Yeah, it could. It could. But it's not going to do monumental numbers right now. But it does has opened some eyes. They could have sold a lot more cabinets just right now, but they just didn't. They didn't have them. They didn't have the money to produce them, and they didn't have the money to pay the developers. Apparently, otherwise they wouldn't be filing bankruptcy. No more game. What's the point of keeping the YouTube? The iiRcade, why iiRcade YouTube is still active in Twitter and all social. Yeah, we already went over that one. I don't trust Jong. Time to sideload it and make it my ALU Junior. Yeah. Here we go. Jong has lied multiple times. I just can't forgive that. Chapter 13 allows a payment plan and they could still operate. Would be sneaky. Yeah, it's interesting. I think they would have to be honest about what they're doing, and I don't think they had been, because they kept everything quiet, waited till every cabinet was sold, and then said something. So that to me says it all, I like the iiRcade a lot. I met a lot of awesome people through the iiRcade. There's a lot of people that work there that are great people. Maybe not all of them, but I can't speak for them. So there you go. I have no issue with the iiRcade, but the company is BS. Is what we're getting from Pre-War Blues. Retro Adele says, I get that. They tricked the new owners. Well, yeah, they did. And here's why. Here's why they did that, okay? And this is not a justification. It's just why I see them as being tricked. To me, when I bought it the second time recently, I bought it because I knew that they weren't doing well. I wanted to get one to enjoy my games before I lost that opportunity, and I wanted to hang out with people in the community and play games. And I knew that it may close, but they vocally kept saying, we're not going out of business. We have a plan. We are going to be releasing something new software-wise that's going to change things. And so people saw that as, oh, we're getting games, or, oh, we're getting a new UI, or, oh, we're getting something new that'll make this cabinet viable long term, right? And so they didn't do that. They said this was happening, and then they said, oh, it didn't happen. It was last minute. We lost investors. Now we have to file bankruptcy. Bankruptcy isn't last minute. Like, that you're in trouble. Basically, what you need to say is, we tried to get more funding. Things are really bad. We were nearing bankruptcy. But the problem is also, if you're a company, you can't tell people all that because you got to keep it under wraps too. But by telling us that there was something they were working on, I think it gave people false hope. And I wish they would have done something a little bit different, because I didn't feel their plan was viable. And obviously it wasn't. But yeah, I agree. Mayhem Brawler is impressive. It's a great game. I do love Mayhem Brawler. If he is Bobby, he's not making himself look very competent. What is that in reference to? I don't know. When John started singing Journey drunk karaoke, I knew it was over. I think it's John's personality. I think he would have done that either way. because I met Jong, and Jong's very much socially drinks. He encouraged me to come hang out and drink, and I don't drink. And so I felt a little bit uncomfortable with that. I ended up hanging out with the YouTubers instead because I just didn't want to drink. I don't have a problem with Jong drinking if that's what he likes to do. I think Jong's a nice enough guy when I met him, but yeah, you're right. It's not professional to do that at a company thing. I feel Tiger Heli is better on the iiRcade than the coin ops version ALU. Yeah, from what I understand, all the shooters are better on the iiRcade because they are actually set to run on the iiRcade and they run better. And so I think you'll probably find that with most of those shmups on the iiRcade, from what I understand. When they said no Double Dragon 2 and 3, I knew something was up. My cabinet was in transit. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I think that was a clue too. And they're just saying, oh, don't worry about it. We're renegotiating. I wouldn't think that. So here's the thing. When you look at Double Dragon 2 and 3, they were done by the same, was it Arc System Works licensed it? They had all these other Arc System Works titles on their cabinet, but they didn't have Double Dragon 2 or 3. So that was the thing. It was like saying, okay, we have all these other titles, but we can't renegotiate for this specific title. To me, that's probably just a simply out of money thing. They'd have the money to relicense it. And if you're going to make new cabinets, then that's a big loss, because not that Double Dragon's the best games, but it's got a name behind it, and people know that, and it'll equal sales. Double Dragon 1 is a good game. Double Dragon 2 on the NES is a good game. I don't like Double Dragon 2 and 3 in the arcade. Like, I like Double Dragon 1 just fine. Jong likes to party. Yes, he does. The shooters do run better. Yep. Jong likes to party and lie. I'm just gonna laugh. Sorry. They were preying on a financer, or praying. Oh, like Prey, I believe. Praying. Yeah, pray. Yeah, it looks like they just kept trying to finance things. And I think that the company could have ran with just Jong and Michael, but they couldn't have been in debt. And so that ultimately was the problem. Like, it could be a good small community project if somebody could buy it cheap out of bankruptcy. But at this point, I don't know, because we got Glenn's deck and we got Mystery Encoder. If I had money, unless it's dirt cheap, I'd have a hard time throwing it down, to be honest. And that may be why Jong is being protective, because he's hoping somebody picks it up and does something with it, or he thinks he's going to get it back. One of the two, right? I love the cabinet itself. I managed to get several classic games that I really am happy to have. Rastan, Moon Patrol, and Double Dragon. Yeah, there's a lot of games on there I really love to play. Ninja Spirit is one of my favorites for sure. Major Title 2 Golf. Like, a lot of the IRM games, you'll catch me playing a decent amount. Some of the modern retro games. I really like playing Galaxy of Champions TV. I really like playing Saturn. Those are really great to me too. I like Mystery Encoder's idea. He wants to create a release platform for indie developers. If he could pull this off, I really think it's a great idea. I do, and I fully support it. It's going to be challenging, because you got to get the indie developers to want to do it. And so you need somebody like Orange Pixel Games, who says it was worth me doing it, to convince other people to also do it. Right? Modern retro. Yes. Modern retro was the highlight. Honestly, it was the thing nobody asked for. I even said in my review, nobody asked for modern retro on the iiRcade, but it ended up being one of the best parts of it. It also ended up being one of the worst parts of it, because we got some really, really awesome games, and then we got some really, really crappy games. But you know what? That's what happens on a console. Like, you don't buy every game that comes out on the Xbox. I imagine Jong was upset because exposing the weak security puts him at additional risks with investors. How does it put him at risk with the investors, I guess? I mean, like, he owes them money. It's bankruptcy. There's no money to be taken. And it's interesting because I don't know how it affects the individual, the bankruptcy, because it may just be a company bankruptcy. And it may not even affect you personally if it's your company. The question is, what's he going to do next? If you would have asked me a month ago if this happened, would I wanted to see John bring it back, I would have said yes. But the problem is now, after I've seen how things went down in the end, it's a really hard for me to say yes. Really hard. I can't. You know, hate to say that, but you know. Me too, Goofy Foot. They should have gone after those easier licensing and none of those bottom feeder games. Yeah, I don't know what they spent. I wish I saw what they spent for each title so we could determine whether it was worth it or not. Wouldn't that be great to have it? Here's Arc System Works. They spent $500,000. Worth it or not worth it? You know, here's Dragon's Lair. They spent $500,000. Worth it or not worth it? That would be good to know, because you know, it's interesting when you look at how many millions they took in, and you wonder, where did the money go? And it looks like most of it went in developing the cabinet and the parts, which was great. It's a really great quality cabinet, but you know, it was hard to justify the price. And when people started to move and went and say, "I want to buy this," is when they put it on sale. And they didn't just put it on sale; they put it on a deep discount, because, like, I think this Retromania, for example, they're originally trying to get like $800 for, which nobody was going to pay. I like the cab in the games, but I just purchased a cab and the monitor died and amplifier's doing weird things. So I do need to figure out how to replace them both. I shouldn't have to do this. I agree. You shouldn't have to do that. That's ridiculous. You know, I don't think it's gonna be hard to get an amplifier. You know, the monitor is probably gonna be more of a challenge. But I do agree with you. You shouldn't have had to do that. But the problem is, when a company if they actually filed bankruptcy, and we can find the bankruptcy paperwork, so they're probably not legally obligated. I don't know. You'd have to look at consumer law to see. I know they sent somebody an amplifier in the mail recently, because I was on an iiRcade Facebook group, and somebody got an amplifier from the mail to them even after they close. And thank you very much, Ritual Dello. I really appreciate that. That's definitely thoughtful. And Ad Games, we got Killer Instinct 1 and 2. iiRcade, we got Escape from the Popo. Oh, man. Oh. We need to save that one. That's phenomenal. Thanks for the last, Carlo. That was good. iiRcade had better games than Escape from the Popo. That one was kind of disappointing. But you know what? One of the best games that came out on it was that Circus Interstellar game they tried to take away from everybody. Because I played that game. The music's great. The gameplay's great. It doesn't have the best graphics, but it doesn't have to. Like, that Circus Interstellar game is probably one of the best modern retro games they had. And they didn't want people to have it. It's just ridiculous to be, now that I like look back on it, it's like, really? You'd love to see the balance sheet. I agree. That would be really good to know. Biggie D says, sorry to pre-war. Yeah, it's sad, man. That's not fair. I hear these things. They always treated me pretty well. They did send me 2 glass screens. The second one they sent me broke, which the first one didn't, so I was lucky. But, you know, it's not their fault it broke. That was FedEx. They actually sent it to where I live, the state I live in, Indiana. And then for some reason, it went from Indiana back to Texas. I'm like, why did it go from Chicago to Indiana to Texas, back to Indiana? And the thing came broken. But like I said, I already had one. It didn't matter. But I was going to try to give it to a community member, you know? And I told John, he sent me a second one. He goes, I don't care. You can keep it. I'm like, awesome. You know? And I definitely would have given it to somebody, but it broke. So I had to throw it away, you know? Infinity Gene. I agree. Infinity Gene's a great game. It's free on Xbox right now. If you have the Xbox Game Pass, you can get Infinity Gene for free if you don't have it on your iArcade. I like the arcade version better. I just enjoy playing at the arcade cabinet, but I did download the free version on the Xbox, and I was playing it actually just a couple days ago. The plastic screen arrived badly scratched up. I had to buy a glass one and to replace it. Did you get the glass one, and did it arrive not broken? That would be important to know. That Popo game is a joke. Isn't Popo game a ripoff of an Atari game? I think, was it an Atari game? I don't know. See, I didn't buy it. I saw it. I go, I wasn't interested. You know, I actually never really played Atari games till recently. I got that Atari 50th collection, and I actually had a blast playing it. And now I go to the arcade. I'm like, where's Centipede? Like, I never played Centipede in the arcade growing up because, like, when I was really small, I just played Pac-Man. And then, like, when I got into arcades after that, I didn't play really any arcades until like 1992. When I played it was like World Warrior. Was that 91, 92? And Street Fighter 2. And then I actually worked at an arcade around 1998 to 2001, off and on. And so a lot of my arcade days were from that era that that Arcade 1UP was recently releasing titles for. Marvel Capcom 2, NFL Blitz, you know. So, like, to me, NFL Blitz was probably one of the games I actually played in the arcade one of the most. But it's funny because every place I go recently to play NFL Blitz, they have it in the arcade. It's like the screen's busted, something's wrong. I just really haven't had a great chance of playing it, except for I have the N64 version. I bought it about a year ago and play that. Your plexiglass was scratched. It was? Mine comes with a plastic cover over it, like one of those plastic films. And I never put it on my cabinet because I got the glass screen the same time I got the cabinet in the mail. The glass screen that wasn't cracked anyway. And the first time I only had the plastic, but the glass is a lot better than the plastic. It was definitely worth it. Sounds like a box of return parts. That sucks. Yeah. He did get the glass, but his monitor died before it came. Yeah, it's probably hard to find a 19-inch monitor for that iArcade. Does the Unico monitor replacements work inside the iArcade? Because I know Unico sells different size screens. They sell up to a 26-inch, but I've never used them. Dell. Yeah, his 19-inch Dell probably would be a perfect fit, but he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to do that, is right. It's a shame. Return parts that I can't return. Exactly. My screen had the film on it, but I wanted the glass regardless. I agree. Yeah, I did. I got the glass the second time because I was like, oh, they make clothes. I need to buy everything right now. And I bought the glass right away. But I had a feeling. But, like, see, other people, like I said, these people that bought it, I do feel bad for them because they did say that they were working on something and that they were not going out of business. And why would you tell people that? You know, what you do is you say, okay, things are going okay, and you move on. You don't. I don't know. Since my 150 Ki got canceled, Blitz remains my cheapest best cab deal at $172.50. I paid $185 for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cab from a liquidator, but it was a Walmart display, and then I basically redid the whole thing. Like, I redid all the controls. They're all Sanwa light up buttons. I mean, there's a video that I put on YouTube. I have the Tulsa Arcade light up riser too. Tulsa Arcade's car with 20-inch monitor kit doesn't include the monitor. Of course it doesn't, because they don't make them. You have to find them, you know. Hi Steps and everyone. Hi Jamie. Bro, you could fight. So who's supposed to fight? Pre-war? About the parts that were no good. Man, I feel that sucks, man. You get this thing, you're so excited about it. Even if they're going out of business, you're like, I got this nice arcade cabinet. I'm able to put some stuff on it. and then something doesn't work. That's heartbreaking, you know? That's not good. Pay $249 for Blitz, Sam's Club, the used one. Let me ask you guys that got the Blitz for under $300. Was it worth it to you with the changes that were made to the game, with the way the online plays? Was the Blitz cabinet worth, let's say, $250? I'd like to know, because I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. I'm PNG. Okay. Someone on Facebook said Jong sent them an amp recently. Yes, he did. I saw that too. You could try messaging Jong. I would say that if he has the parts, he actually might try to send them to you. I will give him credit for that. To Die For got out for $160 at Sam's Club because Bobby Fu is clean like a mother, and he has that ability, which I apparently do not, because half the time I go to the store looking for a deal like that, they tell me they're gone. One time I went to get a $50 Final Fight at a Walmart, and they told me they were all sold out, and I was like, I see them right here. And I walked back there. I'm like, I see it right here. He goes, those are returns. I'm like, bull crap. Give me my $50 Final Fight. Yeah, they're like, we're going to call the police. That's not what they said, but I laughed. Worth it. I'm a big football fan. It's playable. I hate it's playable. Every time I hear it's playable, I'm gonna think of 19K Fox and his son. It's playable, but the car disappears. $250 I do on Blitz. Okay. You still gotta buy the marquee, because that marquee looks like Popo. It doesn't look very good at all. The late hits were good for a chuckle, but don't affect the gameplay much. All right. Sanwa or Sumitsu opinions for a candy cab. I've used Sanwa. I've used iiRcade. I've used Hap. I've not used Sumitsu. Bobby probably has used all of them. I guarantee you he probably has. He'd give you some pretty good advice to die for. My favorite's iiRcade, but some cabinets I do prefer Sanwa. Like the iiRcade, I don't have a problem with it being Sanwa because there's a wide range of games on it. My Big Blue, I like to have iiRcade and have competition buttons. There you go. There's your opinion. I need to try it to know. You know, I've tried a lot of joysticks and buttons, but I haven't tried that one. 49-way joysticks are really good on the Blitz. That's cool. That surprises me because most of their parts I've gotten in their cabinets, the first thing I do is tear them out. I don't even start the cabinet up with I'm like, out, get out of here. Bobby Vu doesn't like it. He says, no good. No good. Rich Odello thinks it's good. So everybody has their opinion, man. You got to try it to know what you think. Like when I tell people I like iiRcade and app competition buttons, like they'll tell me, oh no, Sanwa's the only way to go. And it's just a matter of preference. What do you like? What do you like? And Pre-War Blues is asking to die for. How come? How come to die for? Rich Odello says he likes them. They're tighter. Yeah. Sanwa's pretty tight. Well, the joystick by default, the Sanwa joystick, the default spring is not very good. I'm not going to lie. They're very loose. You have to actually open up the joystick. Let's see. I got one right here, but it's already apart. You got to open up the joystick and change the spring in it. And then put a heavier duty spring in it. And then it's a lot better. You see, I haven't taken apart joystick. I got all sorts of stuff over here. Parts. I probably should sell some of them. They seem more sensitive, but I can in JPEG. I'm not PNG. Pong? I don't know. I've got Sumitsu on my Arcade Stick Pro, but just wondering what's more authentic for a Japanese candy cab, or are they all different too? It's a good question. Yes, I'll agree on that, Bobby, but I'm not a big fighter fan other than console fighters. Oh, not good for Street Fighter. Yeah. No, IL Euro Stick is best for Street Fighter, man. Other than fighting games, then you're good. Yeah. Samwa's not bad on Street Fighter if you get used to it, but I like IL better. Yes, I believe they are. I believe they are Japanese. I'm looking through the rest of the chat here. I've gone for over an hour, and I didn't have much else planned. I was just going with the chat the last half hour. So let's finish up this talk on Sumitsu joysticks, and then I shall head to bed so I can go to work tomorrow. A lot of candy cabs do use them. See, it's weird because like I do go to some arcades. You get a candy cab. Like I've seen some candy cabs in Chicago. I didn't see any candy cabs in any of the locations I went to in Michigan, which is kind of sad. To be honest, I like candy cabs. That's probably what would be authentic to a Japanese candy cab then. I believe some of them probably have Sanwa, as be my guess. Papa Brad Gaming, hello. Papa Brad is in the chat. Welcome, Papa Brad. We're just winding down. You missed an interesting conversation about iiRcade, about ad games, and different types of joysticks. Bobby Vu's been in the chat. He's about to go on vacation. We're saying hey to Papa Brad. He's finishing up his Game Preserve walk and social tour video. What's the Game Preserve? It sounds like an old store back in the 90s when you go in there and get like, you know, Mike Tyson's Punch Out or something. I will have to rewatch. Go ahead. Feel free. Rewatch, comment, like, and subscribe. You did miss out that Ichabod gave me the very first super chat for the channel. So that was really cool. And then Rich Odello also did, and that was really cool of him. And the only reason I brought it back up was because Ichabod was the first. So that was really cool. I have to go to Galloping Ghosts at some point. They are about an hour and 20 minutes from me. Yes, you do. Galloping Ghosts is amazing. I've been there twice. I was supposed to go there last week. I ended up going to Michigan and taking my grandma this week to Michigan. She needed a ride. And so I made it a little bit of a arcade trip with my son. And so we didn't go to Galloping Ghosts. We went to some new arcades. My son has been about Galloping Ghosts. And if I go to Galloping Ghosts with him, we're going to be playing Sonic the Hedgehog all day. I'm not even kidding. Because that's what he wants to play. Hey, bad guy. We're about to end of the stream here. Thanks for joining us, though. Appreciate you. Biggie D said one. Did I miss it, Biggie D? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm a one-man band here. Or one-person band. Did you send it before Ichabod? Maybe you did. Maybe you are the first one. I don't know, Biggie D. I'm looking through it. Why am I not seeing it? I believe you, Biggie D. I believe you. Oh, there it is. You right after Ichabod. You did. You didn't say anything. That's why I missed it. You didn't say anything. Thank you, Biggie D. Thanks for saying something so that I saw. I appreciate it. Bad guy, Biggie. Carl, hey man. Uh-oh. Papa Brad. I got money out of Papa Bread. Thanks for streaming. What's the dollar bill button do? Congratulations, Steps. Yeah, I had to wait till what did I got 1,000 subs to get monetized, and then they, as soon as I got it, they lowered it to 500. And then I've been getting these subscribers off this viral short I have. So if I start doing more wrestling content, please forgive me. Please continue watching for the arcade content, and then I'll try to do a little bit of both. But I have this viral video that's it's Sami Zayn, who's really awesome wrestler and who I've actually met. And actually, right here, whoops, that box is falling when I grab this. I got Sami Zayn, who, great wrestler, great guy, was really cool to meet. Am I a Roman fan? No, I'm not a Roman fan. I'm a Cody Rhodes fan first. My second favorite is probably Sami Zayn at this point. My first probably is being taken over by Sami Zayn because he's getting me lots of views. Variety is good, Steps. You do you and your passions, never settle. I agree. I mean, it's cool. We all know that I like professional wrestling. I like Iron Maiden. I like Mountain Dew. Like lots of different things. I don't always drink Mountain Dew because you can't drink it all day long. Otherwise you might get sick, but I'm drinking a Zevia right now. Seeing Double. Now I got that song from Foreigner stuck in my head. Double Vision. You ever see that show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Where they're like, they had the Foreigner belt. And they're like, how would you like to see Double Vision? Ric Flair. Woo! I met Ric Flair. He had his wife with him, She looks really good for her age. Of course, he's gonna have a good-looking woman at his side. And what did we talk about? We ended up talking about Kiss because my friend was wearing a Kiss shirt. And so we talked about Kiss for whatever reason. Papa Brat is so bad at using his phone to type. Well, don't use your phone to type. Get back to your computer. How dare you lay in bed and type on your phone? Steps do. Yes, Steps do. I wasn't planning on doing any Mountain Dew videos for a while, but I did one this week because they brought back Baja Blast in the bottle, and that really excited me because I really like that flavor, especially in a bottle, because I don't go to Taco Bell that often. Like, I can't eat Taco Bell. I'm gluten-free, so like I can't eat there, so it's hard for me to go there specifically for a Baja Blast. So when I go to the gas station, they have a Baja Blast, I'm like, yes, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. I loved my favorite Ric Flair was when he was in WCW, and he was like the part the manager with like Eric Bischoff, and then also when he was he was like owner of Raw or whatever. That was great too. He was such a great manager, not just a good wrestler. Because, a lot of the wrestling matches I saw with him, he was already older. I mean, he had some good matches with Hogan I saw in WCW and Sting. But I you can't underestimate those like manager roles that he had because he was so good. He was just so good on the mic. And then he would just come out and be like, woo, woo. And he'd start taking off all his clothes and garner everyone's attention. I went to this hockey game in North Carolina at the Carolina Hurricanes game. And every time they scored a goal, they have Ric Flair on the screen. He'd be like, another Carolina Hurricane goal. Woo. It was great. They still make Code Red. I think they make regular Code Red. I've not seen Diet Code Red or Code Red Zero in a very long time. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so when I do drink it, I try not to drink the sugar version. Not that it doesn't taste better, it does. But I also have to be pretty tired too, because that stuff will get you wired. Mick Foley used to live a few blocks from me, and he supported my buddy's foundation. with Heather's Fund with a bunch of classic wrestlers. Nicest guy. He is a very nice guy from what I understand. And I feel bad for the guy because the guy got thrown off that cage, that Hell in the Cell. Like he went all the way to the ground. That had been like 100 feet. And it's like you see these videos of him and he could barely tie his shoes. And it's like so sad because he sacrificed his body to entertain us. I mean, wow. You know, such an entertaining guy. I wish I kept seeing one of his shows. Next time he does a comedy show, I need to go see it. I met Jake the Snake Roberts. That was pretty cool too. Like it was during COVID and I had my kid with me and we're wearing masks because they required masks. And like we go over to see Jake the Snake Roberts. And the first thing he does is he looks at my kid. He goes, "Take that stupid mask off right now." I do not know anything about wrestling, but I love the Retromania cab. Are those actual wrestlers in the game or are they YouTubers? So the wrestlers that are on the cabinet are actually legit wrestlers. Obviously, you may know the Legion of Doom that are on the sides. They were in WWE back in the 80s. Warhorse is on there. He's an independent wrestler that is fairly well known if you follow independent wrestling. Zack Sabre Jr. is on it. Stevie Richards is on it. Blue Meanie is on it. Chris Bay is on the side art as well. I believe Matt Cardona, who used to be Zack Ryder in WWE, is on the cabinet art. His friend Brian Myers from the Major Action Figure podcast, Wrestling Action Figure. They do a podcast about wrestling action figures, these professional wrestlers. They were both in WWE, but now they're independent. So yeah, they're actually wrestlers and some of them are known more than others. Colt Cabana's also on it. He's in AEW. He wrestles for Ring of Honor portion of AEW. So the smaller part. I did see that he passed away. He was only 54. So that was sad. So the wrestlers are all from different organizations. Some of them, they're mostly the ones that are on the cabinet are either independent wrestlers, retired wrestlers, or NWA wrestlers, because NWA is a smaller wrestling league and they were featured in the game. There a lot of independent wrestlers will wrestle NWA shows. And if you know what NWA is, it used to be what was there before WCW was there, but somehow the one, I think is he the lead singer, the guy from Smashing Pumpkins, I believe it is. He owns NWA. So yeah, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that, Papa Brad. Roddy Piper was the man. Yes, he was awesome. I like picking these different wrestlers in the WWE 2K23 game, and you just to watch their intro, watch them walk out, or or choose a level like the WCW arena or whatever. So like when you actually play, it looks like legit the real old thing. Like the game is so realistic. It's amazing. Billy Corgan, yes, that's who owns NWA. He owns the NWA league. You are correct. Dr. Pepper Zero is good. Yeah, it is good. Diet Dr. Pepper is good too. I like Mountain Dew Zero. I can't drink Diet Mountain Dew anymore. I think it doesn't taste the same as Mountain Dew Zero. Mountain Dew Zero is better. Sunkissed Orange Zero, and it has caffeine. It does? I thought the Sunkissed Orange did not have caffeine. That's surprising. I would drink that a lot more often if I knew it had caffeine. Straight out of Compton. I guess so. I don't listen to much Smashing Pumpkins. I probably should. But 90% of what I listen to is Iron Maiden. I'm not going to lie. I listen to a lot of Iron Maiden. And when I'm not listening to Iron Maiden, I listen to Bruce Dickinson's solo albums, who, if you didn't know, is the lead singer of Iron Maiden. I listen to Alice Cooper, too. I love Alice Cooper. I'll never forget Piper's Pit with Snuka and the coconut grape moment. I need to go back and watch that. I see that the ones that I remember all from the 90s, because that's what I would watch. And like I remember the one where he had it was Hulk Hogan, but he wasn't allowed to be there, so he was like Mr. America. That was great. And Piper was like, you're not Mr. America. We all know who you really are. You're Hulk Hogan. Flight 666 may be the best live show ever. I got to see Iron Maiden last year. I got to see the Legend of the Beast tour, where this flag is from, and I saw it in the front row in Columbus, Ohio. I was a member of the fan club, and I won the first to the barrier. And so I got there a couple hours early, and then they let you in before everyone else. And I was right there at the barricade. And yeah, that was that was freaking amazing. $99 and for the ticket, because I got it through the fan club, and then I got the front row access. Oh man, best $100 I ever spent. $35 to join the fan club. And it's the amazing show. And I'm really looking forward to this next tour, because my favorite album ever is Somewhere in Time, and they are doing this tour Somewhere in Time album and the new Senjutsu album. So it's got 5 tracks from Somewhere in Time, 5 tracks from Senjutsu, and 5 tracks from other albums. And Stranger Strangeland is my favorite song. Caught Somewhere in Time is probably my second favorite. And they open the show with those 2 songs. And so I will have to go 3 times. As soon as it comes to the US anywhere remotely near me, which will probably be next year. I think they're only coming to Los Angeles or that area this year for some metal festival, but it's like $3,000 to even get in, because it's like 7 metal bands, and I'm not paying that. So next year, anywhere remotely near me, I'm going to go see them 2 or 3 times. It'll be worth it. I'm just really excited. Iron Maiden Pinball. I did get to play that yesterday. I love Iron Maiden Pinball just for the music alone. I tend to play a lot with it, playing the song Can I Play with Madness from Seventh Son album, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, or whatever. Yeah. That song is great. I'll play Wasted Years, Power Slave. Yeah, those are all amazing. Fun pinball. Hell yeah, Somewhere in Time, first CD I ever bought, and the second Ozzy Randy Rose tribute album. Really? It was the first album you bought? See, when I was when that album came out, I would have been like 6 years old, maybe 5. So like I didn't know about it. I think the first album I ever bought was Michael Jackson Bad, and I bought it because I thought Michael Jackson looked cool on the album cover. I didn't know anything about Michael Jackson. And I remember I played the song Bad over and over again. I'd rewind the My First Sony, or whatever it was called. It was like this red Sony tape player. And I just rewind it and play Bad over and over and over again. That was a fun time. First CD, cassette, or an album. Let's see. Yeah, my first cassette was Michael Jackson Bad. And my first CD was Green Jelly. The song that was Little Pig, let me in. It was like like very dark, heavy guitar music, but they were like making fun of the little pigs or whatever. Great story. Thanks. I like telling stories. I'm glad you hung around, Bobby, because I've been talking for 90 minutes on this show all by myself. So this shows me anything is possible, my friend. Anything is possible. I think that's a good time to end. 90 minutes. Don't you guys? I've had a great time talking to you guys. It turned out really cool to do this. Wow, that's a throwback. So yes, you knew what I was talking about. I can't believe that was my first CD. That's a very pathetic first CD. But my second CD was probably Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1. Thor says his first cassette wasn't bad, but Weird Al even worse. Man, I wish I would have listened to Weird Al more back in the day. I did hear some that like my friends would play or whatnot, but I never actually owned any Weird Al. I thought I may have overheard Mystery Encoder saying that they might be getting one of the iiRcade boards before they are released to the public. Yes, I understand that may be the case. I will let you know when I know for a fact. I am going, and if I do get it, I am going to show it off because that's the purpose of it, to show the community what is possible, right? First CD was EMF Unbelievable Single. Okay. Biggie D says, good stream. Thank you, Biggie D. Thanks for everybody that joined. I had a good time. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you did too. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, if you enjoyed it. If you stayed, you probably enjoyed it. And I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you the next time I go live or the next time I release a video. Thanks again. Oh, Brooklyn. Yeah. I was sad. I like Brooklyn Show a lot, but he's tired. He's tired. You know, he needed a break, I guess. He had a long work week. So all the best to Brooklyn. All the best to everyone that watched. See you next time.